Well, People's Democratic Party (PDP) has described the mass defection of Governor Sheriff Oborevwori and other elected officials and party leaders in Delta to the All Progressives Congress (APC) as painful and disappointing. Well, acting national chairman of PDP, Umar Damagum, made this known in Abuja at a ceremony to issue a certificate of return to Mr. Jude Ezenwafo, the party's candidate for the Anambra governorship election. Damagum described the mass defection as disappointing given the kind of support the party gave to the state. Damagum noted that the party leadership was taking stock to set up a caretaker committee for the party in the state. He said that the election in 2027 would not be about how many governors a party has, but it will be about Nigerians. Damagum urged all party members to close ranks and rescue Nigeria, saying no challenge is insurmountable. He congratulated Ezenwafo for emerging as the party's candidate in Anambra, expressing confidence of victory in the election. In his remarks, Ezenwafo expressed optimism that he would win the state election, describing Anambra as a PDP state. He pledged to tackle insecurity in Anambra as a former senior special assistant to the governor on security. I will not take anything for granted. Ezenwafo was accompanied by his wife, members of the PDP State Working Committee, Anambra, and campaign officials, among others. Well, Frank, since yesterday we've seen these waves of defection, most especially in Delta State, from the PDP to the APC. First of all, when you heard about this mass defection, what was your reactions to this?
Well, my first reaction is that they have made defection in Nigeria cultural.
Okay.
It has become a culture. The preceding election year, you see politicians defecting to the party that they feel will make them secure their ticket. Ordinarily, it should be the time for the Delta State governor to solidify his foothold in Delta State, because this is the first tenure which, for now, for those of us who are outside the political cycle, we have observed that the governor is not very certain that he will win re-election come 2027 under the platform of PDP. But it's a very unfortunate that if the people are actually the deciders of any election, there should be no room for this mass defection from PDP to APC, and which is not also a good development in building our democratic principles in Nigeria. Because it's like we are still baby, or our politics, our democracy is still very, very immature in terms of background and sustainability, and it's not a good thing. When you look at a governor and all the political parties, and even as our assembly, deputy governor joining the same party, it tells you that they are not ready in terms of building democracy in that state. But that is the way it happens in Nigeria, because in Nigeria, defection has become a cultural principle that everybody wants to display, because it's like, oh, you must belong to the party at the center, which is not also healthy in our political evolution. But if you look at what is happening now, some people may still also think, oh, that is the way to go. It's not the way to go in real democracy, because it's a situation where every election year, elected leaders will now involve themselves in exodus to the parties they feel is at the center to make them win election. So when you won election first tenure, what was your background?
Okay.
Is about the electorate to sit up to see if this man has betrayed them. But it's a situation where you won election by virtue of the people's mandate, if actually the people's mandate, and you have now gone to a new party because you feel somebody in power will give you a soft landing to win election again. If actually the people have decided, I don't think he will win election come 2027. But what do I know? The issue is that they have taken away the power of who becomes leader in Nigeria to the maybe to the umpire who's supposed to give us a kind of a level playing ground where we can go and vote, and our vote will count, because we have been told that our votes do not count in Nigeria, which we need to see a way to stop it.
All right.
So what has happened in Edo State, Delta State, is a state of immaturity in building our democracy.
Okay, so Damagum has described this defection as disappointing, given the kind of support the party gave to the state. Again, do you see this defection as disappointing to the PDP and also to Deltans?
Definitely, it is a disappointing situation to PDP as a party, because no doubt there was APC then when the governor won election. APC, I know that Umar Damagum contested under the platform of APC and also lost. No, that has become history.
Okay.
Umar Damagum was the deputy senate president. He lost the election to him. And so, is it now that you feel that PDP cannot win election in Edo State? So actually, it's an issue of disappointment to PDP, because now PDP has lost a governor. You know, in Nigeria, if a party must win election, the governor will play what I would call crucial role to make the party win election. And what is happening today is a minus to PDP, even in terms of its parade and also being formidable.
So when you say that the governors would, play crucial roles
in Nigerian politics,
yes, in the Nigerian politics, I'm trying to wonder how this is going to happen. From what you've observed so far, because for you saying that, it means that probably you've had experience before.
Yes.
So now, what are those things that you've seen them doing in this regard?
Now, with the influence of the position as a governor, the office of a governor, they have access to fund. Mind you, whether you like it or not. Some of the things that influence election in Nigeria is money, and people want to see who is going to give them money. Until we go to the real principle of democracy, where the people will decide, irrespective of choice, irrespective of where the person is coming from. There are so many interplay of us in our politics in Nigeria. Ordinarily, if Nigerians are enlightened politically, for him to have gone to APC, come second tenure for election, he would have lost.
All right.
But because of his influence, and now he has gone to the mainstream government that is controlling even the umpire and the security agency in Nigeria. Tell me what you expect. So it takes the grace of God and the people to say, look, this is our state, like what is happening in Anambra State.
Okay.
It's difficult for any party to take over Anambra State. I was in Anambra State yesterday. And Anambra State is also a state that is like peaceful, despite whatever we may see, kidnapping and the rest. But it's about the people to decide, this is the person we want to be our governor. Not because of the party you belong to.
Okay.
Until we play politics in that way, we will not get it right.
Okay.
And that's one thing we need to understand in this part of the world.
Well, Damagum also mentioned that this 2027 election that's about to come now, that it's not going to be about how many governors you have in your party. Now, I'm trying to understand how this would influence party structure, having so many governors in one party, and how that is going to help in making sure that a politician in that same party emerges or wins the 2027 election.
See, that was a very good statement by Damagum, being the chief of PDP in Nigeria.
Okay.
He's the chief PDP of this country. And you don't expect him to begin to cry. He has to also look for a way to inspire members, motivate members. And again, like the statement he has made, election should be about the people. Now, if election is about the people, the people stand the chance of saying, this is the person we want to. Not because of the party you belong.
Okay.
You can see what happened in America. Donald Trump lost the election to Joe Biden. And there was a comeback. The people voted for him. He won the election. Today he's back. Under the same party that he lost. Under the same party that he lost to. You can imagine. So it's about the people understanding you. So if the people actually understand the political tactics and the also principles and all what we call ideologies of politics and what leaders also are to do while in power, I believe that the people should, the onus should be on the people to produce who becomes their leader or their governor.
Okay.
But as it is now, it's like they are shifting the role to the empire. So Damagum, in this case, he was correct by saying now it should be for the people. And the people will be conscious of what should happen come 2027. Not just that he has moved to APC, therefore it's automatic for him to win for him to win 2027. It's not true. There could be a comeback of even PDP in that state. If the people actually, like I said, we lack political consciousness.
Okay.
Ordinarily, if we have political conscious people, the game will change.
All right. So whether you like it or not, this is now about influence and not about democratic process.
That is no.
Because you know we are supposed to toll the democratic process.
That is what I'm
not
saying.
About influence.
No.
So what, if that is the case, you would agree with me that this would be a menace as regards to the political process we are facing in Nigeria. In this regard, what do you think we need to do? What do you think political parties need to do? You know, we don't want, the voters don't want a situation whereby people will go out to vote based on influence. You know, if you're in this party, you have so many big names in the parties, and that's why you want to go and vote for the party and not for your choice. Probably people would want to be voting for these parties because of the big fishes inside the party or influence in the party. So now it becomes a menace on democracy. Now, what do you suggest as an analyst, a political analyst for that? What do you suggest that political parties need to do?
No. See, there is need for aggressive political enlightenment from the angle of political parties.
Okay.
For the PDP now. You know, I've said somewhere that PDP is no longer a formidable opposition. And now the decampment of, or the defection of Governor and his team in Delta State to APC is a minus to PDP. And so PDP should embark on aggressive campaign of enlightening the people, not just a party members. And also a PDP should start now to build the members who are like aggrieved. Like I would say PDP is like, I would say it's like PDP is a divided house.
Okay. Because
of the uproar, the misunderstanding that is in PDP. So I believe that it is now for Damagum and the neck of PDP to begin now to strategize ways of strengthening PDP to regain to win some states.
All right.
Come 2027, it can be done. They even need to engage in rural campaign, not just staying in Abuja to stay on maybe stay in their comfort zone. They should go speak beyond Abuja. Go to some interior places in Nigeria and preach to them about your party. But one thing is very clear. If you convince somebody to believe in you, nobody can change his mind. Somebody has to take money from the big wigs and still vote their choice. So for me, the onus is on the PDP now, seeing that their ship of leadership, their ship of spread is sinking. And what do they need to do to make it afloat? Is to go beyond their comfort zone.
Okay.
They can even lobby some people in PDP, APC too.
All right. Well, let's